Hi, welcome back to Mastering C++ Unlocked. In today's lecture, we will discuss single array, an essential concept in programming. Array allows you to store multiple values of the same data type under a single variable name, making the data management more efficient. This session will cover the fundamentals of arrays in C++, including declaring arrays, initializing arrays, accessing array elements, modify array values. By the end of this lecture, you will be equipped to use arrays in your C++ programs to handle various data types and solve practical problems. Let's get started. Why use arrays? Arrays make it easier to manage data instead of declaring separate variable for each value. You can group them together in an array. For example, instead of declaring multiple variable like int score1, score2, score3, you can declare int score3 to handle the three values. Arrays also improve performance by storing data in contiguous memory location, which is faster to access. And this one uh, is telling us start from the 0, right, and reach up to 5. These are 6 arrays. Declaring arrays. To declare an array, you need to specify the data type, array name, and the number of elements. Data type, array name, and size. The size of the array is fixed when it is declared and cannot be modified later. Example, int number 5, integer data type, number array name, and this is the size. So declare an array of integer. Create an array of 5 integers which each element is an integer. So initializing array. Array can be initialized at the time of declaration by assigning values within curly braces. In the example, int 5 size again and integer numbers 5, and these are the data. Initialize every if you don't initialize an array, the element may contain garbage values. So same is here. Assessing array element. Arrays are zero index, meaning the first element is at 0, as earlier said. In the example of number 0, assess the third element, which is 2. Be careful to avoid out-of-bound errors when assessing array elements. So because in the previous example we discussed the number 0 on 2, so that's why we have a 2 when we search 0. And if we go for 1, so we get this one. If we use here 2, so you will get 24 answer. Modify array element. To change the value of specific element, refer to the index number. Here we already we will include includes and using names and int main, but here we also use include strings. Include the string library for handling strings. So first we declare string array scar of size 4, initialize it with the values. These are string cars 4, Opel, BMW, Ford, and Mazda. And then modify the first element of the array index 0. Here we will replace this Opel with Chingchi and put the value of first element, which is now Chingchi, to the console, and cout is car and 0, which is now Chingchi. Example of some array integer. Calculate the sum of element in an array. Obviously includes and using we will add and then int Spain. So int numbers are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. This line declare an array numbers of size 5, initialized with the values of these. Each element of the array can be accessed using an index starting from the 0, as we discussed earlier. So int sum, this line declare an integer variable sum and initialize it to 0. This variable will be used to store the sum of the element in the number of arrays. So for loop we will use it. Int I is a 0 and less than 5, and then we have a increments. This is a for loop that will iterate over the array numbers. This loop start with I is equal to 0 and continues as long as I is less than 5. The I plus plus increase the value of I by 1 after each iteration. Sum plus equal to numbers I. Inside the loop, this line adds the current element of the numbers array accessed using numbers I to the sum variable. Initially, sum is 0, as we said, and it will accumulate the sum of all the array element during the loop. And this is close to loop from this. And this loop will repeat the addition process for each element in the numbers array. Cout and sum and L. After the loop ends, these line print the final value of the sum to the console. The cout is used for, as we said already discussed, output, and sum is the printed followed by the value of sum. And L is used to insert a new line after the output. A self-study example, assessing array element in reverse order. This is your homework. And another is finding the maximum and minimum element orders. This one. Uh, Takeaway. And the next we have multidimensional array. Thank you.